think, act, and prosper. You are now tuned into the Money Level Show.
Daryl, I believe that people have to store some of their net worth in gold simply to maintain the purchasing power of their savings. I came in the investment world in 1970, really. And I guess I was, how old would I have been then? 17 years of age. That's when I really began. I guess I began thinking seriously about investing when I was 15, but I had some money to save when I was 17. And I started reading books about investing. And I look back on that now. If you measure the US dollar in gold, the US dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power in my adult lifetime versus gold. 98%. That means that some of your savings, particularly if you're a young man like you, not so much an old man like me, but a young man like you, to maintain your purchasing power, I think you have to own some gold. I'm not saying own it because you think the price is going to go up in a J curve next year or the year after. You don't know that. I don't know that. You own it because you maintain your purchasing power in gold, where you don't maintain your purchasing power in any fiat currency that's ever been invented. But, you got to do more. You got to become a capitalist. You got to save. In other words, you got to have some capital to become a capitalist. And then in addition to owning gold and owning cash for liquidity, you have to own businesses that make you money while you sleep. Because eventually you're going to be my age and you're going to be sleeping more and making less. If you want to sustain your lifestyle and your family's lifestyle, your capital is going to have to have worked for you for decades. So you got to do that too. By the way, I'm not saying don't own gold. Absolutely, positively, without a doubt, own gold. Do more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So what do you think are the reasons why gold is staying this elevated? What are you seeing?
Gold has done well over millennium because investors and savers have been concerned about the maintenance of their purchasing power. And as they become more concerned, they own more gold. Gold is also doing well because of political challenges. Around the world, other governments have seen that the United States government is using the US dollar and the world financial system to impose America's political will on other places. As an American, you may believe that's a good thing or a bad thing. But people in China and India and Russia and Iran and Brazil and South Africa and Saudi Arabia don't want the US government to tell them what to do. When the US government stole $100 billion worth of Russian holdings of US treasuries, whether or not you believe it was the right thing, it sent a message to people around the world. You can't save in US treasuries because if the US government doesn't agree with you, they'll steal your money. As much as they don't trust us, they don't trust each other even more. So you won't find the Chinese buying Russian treasuries, right? You won't find the Russians buying South African treasuries. You won't find the Brazilians buying Iranian treasuries. The only universal medium of exchange that's simultaneously a store of value outside the US system is gold. And so foreign central banks have been buying gold, not because they necessarily believe in gold, but because they believe in it more than they believe in other stores of value that are mediums of exchange. I want to talk about Americans not trusting the maintenance of purchasing power in US dollars. I hate always to go to math, Daryl, but I have to. That's how I think. I don't think in stories. I think in numbers. The US 10-year Treasury is paying about 4 right now, right? And of course, the government will tell you that the CPI tracks purchasing power, which is a lie. If you go to the pump or you go to the grocery cart or you go to your insurance charges or you go to your rent, the idea that inflation is 2.6 a year, that your decline in your purchasing power is 2.6 a year, is so stupid I can't believe they can tell it with a straight face. But anyway, I assume, and we've talked about this before, that the basket of goods and services that you and I buy means that our savings are deteriorating about 7.5% a year. So if we're saving money and getting 4, but the 4 that we're getting is buying us 7.5% less, we're actually losing 3.5% a year. Now, there shouldn't be anything in the world that you make you more concerned about the maintenance of your purchasing power than an ironclad government guarantee that you are going to lose money. And because of that, because of the disparity in arithmetic between the real rate of inflation and the nominal rate of payment on savings, of course people are afraid of maintaining purchasing power in their savings. And because of that, of course, people are beginning to stray into gold.